All right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Judge Law. We need just one second. We're good now. All right. So I was saying good afternoon. My name is Judge Law, and this will be the Fulton State Expedited Accusation Calendar. These are cases in which individuals were recently arrested and charged with one or more misdemeanor offenses. Upon being booked at the Fulton County Jail, the prosecutor, that is the Fulton County Solicitor General's office, has already formally accused the defendant with the misdemeanor charges that have been brought against the accused. Hence, this case is now with the State Court of Fulton County, and this would be the defendant's initial appearance, at which time I will inform the defendant of case or accusation number, the charges brought against the defendant, appoint a counsel if required, as well as set a bond if no bond has been set with the warrant. Please keep in mind that if you are a defendant charged with one or more misdemeanor offenses, you have a right to remain silent about the facts of your case. You've already had a chance to confer with an attorney, so any comments that you personally make during the course of this virtual proceeding, your statements can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney if you cannot afford one. One of our attorneys from the Public Defender's Office or our conflict defense list will represent you. Who do we have first in courtroom 2?
Good afternoon, Judge Law. This is going to be position 3. She's a private attorney, Ms. Brown.
All right.
Afternoon, Judge. Judy Kim for Ms. Brown.
All right, thank you. This is Lauren Marie Brown, case number 22 CR 0062348. Ms. Brown is represented by Ms. Judy Kim, and Ms. Brown, you've been advised of your right to remain silent. Mr. Tucson, any priors?
No.
All right. Is Mr. Michael Miller in the courtroom as well?
Yes, he'll be going next.
All right. Ms. Brown, let me see, Ms. Sarita Githier, are you prosecuting this case?
Yes, Your Honor. My apologies for being tardy.
You were not. So
Oh, okay.
go ahead.
Oh, Mr. Miller, okay.
No, this is Ms. Brown, the cross defendant.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, 1 second. Okay, Ms. Brown. The offense occurred on September 14, 2022, at 290 Martin Luther King Jr. Drive in Atlanta, Fulton County. She's been charged with battery family violence against Michael Miller.
Yeah, I understand they live together. What's the bond recommendation?
Oh, the bond recommendation is $3,000 signature bond, no further contact with the victim, a 1-day anger management awareness, and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons.
All right, Ms. Kim, do you have any objections to that amount and especially to the conditions?
Judge, we would ask that she be allowed to return to the house. It's her apartment in her name, 290 Martin Luther King Jr. Drive, apartment 3203, Atlanta, Georgia, 30312. This is not the first occurrence. My understanding is that the co-defendant actually broke my client's arm last year, broken a window. So I'm kind of concerned for her safety, but I would ask if you would allow her to return to the home. It is her home, and that he not be allowed to return to the home other than one-time visit with the Sheriff's Department to gather any personal belongings.
All right. A bond is set at $3,000. It's going to be a signature bond through pretrial services. Ms. Brown, you will be enrolled with the pretrial program. You will report to pretrial once a month. You cannot afford to not report, and you certainly cannot afford to get arrested again. If either of these events occur, you could lose your signature bond, which will be converted to a $3,000 surety or cash bond. You have to have, after today, you're to have no further contact with Michael Miller. You have to stay 200 yards away from him and not communicate with him in any way, form, or manner. You may return to the residence at 290 Michael Luther King Jr. Drive And Mr. Miller will be permitted to come there one time only with a police officer to retrieve his personal belongings. After that, he's not to return to that location, and both of you are not to have any contact with each other. Understood? All right. That concludes your case. Make sure that you communicate with your attorney. Your next court date will be mailed to you at this current address. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes, Ms. Kim, thank you very
Thank
much.
you. Thank
Next
you.
case,
Bye-bye.
please.
Position 7, Miller.
This is the state of Georgia versus Michael Miller, case number 22 CR 0062355H. Mr. Miller, you've been accused of battery, domestic violence with regards to cross-defendant Lauren Brown. With regards to this case, you've been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is going to be Ms. Maureen McLeod. Any priors, Mr.
Just arrest.
Okay,
Last.
all right. Ms. Githia, any objection to the same signature bond with the stay away and no contact?
No objection, Your Honor.
Ms. McLeod, is that all right?
No objection, Your Honor. My client would like a one-time escort, not for himself, but for a friend to go to the location to retrieve his belongings. Also, Your Honor, he says there is a firearm that he owns that is in our car. He would also like his friend to be able to retrieve that.
No contact with Laura Brown, stay away from 290 Martin Luther King Jr. Drive. And who is this friend?
I'm not sure what his name is. He just said it was someone that she knows, Your Honor. I can ask my client.
We need to unmute courtroom two.
Yes.
It's
do you need
290
for something,
to
or
219.
just a close friend of mine,
I'm sorry, the name again?
Michael Allen.
Michael Allen.
Yes.
And do you know his date of birth?
Not right now. No, no.
Close friend, don't remember his birthday, not a good start. And where does he live?
He stays in Stone Mountain.
Where?
Stone
Stone
Mountain.
Mountain, Your Honor.
Stone Mountain. And does Miss Brown know him?
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Brown, do you know this Michael Allen?
I do.
Okay, you need to stand up. Do you know this Michael Allen?
Yes, I do.
Do you have any objection to him coming to the house to retrieve Michael Miller's property?
No.
And do you know if there's a firearm in a vehicle belonging to Mr. Michael Miller?
There might be.
Repeat?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. All
Thank
right,
you, Your Honor.
Mr. Miller, your bond is going to be also set at $3,000 signature bond through pretrial services, which means you don't have to pay for the bond, but you have to report to pretrial services once a month, and you cannot afford to get arrested again. After today, you have to have no further contact with Lauren Brown, and you have to stay away from 290 Martin Luther King Jr. Drive in Atlanta, Georgia. As you've requested, you are not going to return to the property, but we will allow Michael Allen, the person that Miss Brown is familiar with, to return to the property one time only. Mr. Michael Allen, although he's not accused, he must have a police officer accompany him to the location to retrieve your personal belongings. Does Mr. Allen have a permit to carry a firearm?
Yes, ma'am.
I repeat,
Yes, ma'am.
He said yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Michael Allen may retrieve the firearm from the vehicle or from Miss Brown's home if that's where it is, but the firearm must be surrendered to the police officer at that time. It cannot be returned to you, nor can it be kept with Mr. Michael Allen for safekeeping. After today, because you are charged with battery, domestic violence, you're not permitted to have any firearms or weapons. You're not to consume any alcohol or any illegal drugs. This same requirement applies to Ms. Brown as well. Ms. Brown, another condition of your bond is no illegal drugs, no alcohol, no weapons, and no firearms. So that weapon must be removed either from your property or from Mr. Miller's vehicle and surrendered to the authorities. Any questions?
No,
Your
yeah.
Honor, I'm sorry, Your Honor, did that also include 1 day of anger management?
No, you didn't request it. Okay.
Your Honor, I would object to the 1 day anger management. My client, he doesn't have any kind of anger issues in his past, and he was not the primary aggressor here.
They're both cross defendants, so I'm assuming the primary aggressor issue has not been resolved. Since they're going through pretrial, it's a 1-day program. It's administered by pretrial and doesn't cost anything to the defendants. So with regards to Ms. Brown and Mr. Miller, I'm going to require the 1-day anger awareness program. And I'm so sorry, Ms. Githia, you didn't get a chance to ask that because we skipped right over the pretrial issue.
Okay.
All right, thank you. All right, that
Thank you,
concludes
Anna.
the cases for both. Mr. Miller, within 30 days of being released, you must update and confirm your mailing address with the court services. You can come down to 160 Prior Street and give us your new mailing address because we will be sending you notices to show up in court to that address. If you fail to give us the address and you do not show up in court, when summoned, a bench warrant will be issued for your arrest. Understood?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Position 13, Spison. And then after that will be the co-defendant, position 16, Mr. White.
Thank you. This is LaQuanta Spison, accused of theft by taking from September 9th, 2022. Ms. Spison, you've been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney will be Ms. Kim. Any priors, Mr. Tucson?
What's the number?
Repeat.
13. 7 total. Last arrest was 2020. Possession of marijuana out of Texas. That appears to be open. Has an open public order crime out there as well. It says on probation for possession of a controlled substance less than a gram in a correctional facility. In 2019, they gave him 2 years to serve, 5 years probation for that. I'm not sure how long the defendant's been in Georgia. This is the first Georgia arrest. 2012, Texas failed to ID fugitive with the intent to give false information, conviction. 2018, drugs. 2019, same thing. That's pretty much it. Just drugs.
All right, thank you. Ms. Driley, good afternoon.
Good
What's
afternoon.
good afternoon. What's the state's recommendation?
Yes, Your Honor, it would be a $3,000 signature bond. She would have no further contact with that apartment complex or Jocelyn Walia,
Walia, yeah.
excuse me.
What was
and-
the complex name called?
The address is 1800 Deerfield Point. It's in Milton, Georgia. I'm not sure of the name of the complex. It was the mail room at that complex, Your Honor.
Okay, I've got a Covington Highway location for Miss Spitson. Is that the correct address, Miss Kim?
I have 1800 Deerfield Drive, Covington 30016.
Oh, she lives at the complex.
I believe she lives at 40 Champion Lane, Covington, Georgia.
Okay, she lives in Covington. Okay.
Yes.
All right. We're going to set the bond at $3,000. It's going to be a signature bond through pretrial services. No further contact with Jasleen, Jasleen Walia, Walia, to stay away from the entire apartment complex at 1800 Deerfield. Was it Parkway?
A point.
Point.
Your Honor.
In Milton, Georgia. What is the relationship with Preston White? Miss Kim, do you know?
Their fiance, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, we'll take it from there. And she's to report to pretrial, as I said, once a month. If she gets arrested again for anything else, she will lose the signature bond. It will convert to a straight bond or a good bond. I'm assuming that address, that Champion something in Covington, is the correct address.
Yes,
right.
Your Honor.
We will send you notice when to show up in court. Please make sure that you always update us with any address changes. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, and no weapons and no firearms. Thank you.
This is
Thank
per,
you, Your Honor.
And this is per judge, yes. Oh, the per solicitor, this is their offer. Okay,
them
all right. Moving on to Preston White, position 16, who represents Ms.
I
McLeod.
do, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. White is also accused of theft by taking with regard to the same incident as Ms. Spicen from September 9, 2022. Mr. White is considered a co-defendant to the issue. 22 CR 006-231J is his accusation number. And Mr. White, you've been advised of your right to remain silent. Your attorney is Ms. Maureen McLeod. Any priors, Mr. Tucson?
28 total. He got history out of Texas and Alabama. Last arrest was last month. Obstruction, financial transaction, card theft. That's open in Gwinnett. And a loitering problem.
That's good. Thank you. Ms. Riley, what's the state's recommendation?
Yes, Your Honor, the state would be asking for a $2,000 surety bond. Of course, no further contact, stay away from the incident location, no drugs or alcohol or weapons.
Okay. Ms. McLeod?
Yes, Your Honor, my client is 38 years old. He has an 11th grade education. He tells me that he has a son, an adult son. He works as a cook, Your Honor. He doesn't have a lot of money for a bond. So I would ask the court, if the court is disinclined, to give him a signature bond. I acknowledge that he does have some history. If the court would give him as low a bond as possible, because he does not earn a lot of money, Your Honor, and is not really in a position to post bond. I would ask the court to take that into consideration.
All right, thank you. The bond's going to be set at $1,000. It's going to be a surety bond. No further contact with Jasleen Walia, to stay away from the same location, which was 1800 Deerfield Point in Milton, Georgia. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, no weapons. And his next court date is going to be September 29th at 9 a.m. If he makes bond, then we will send him summons to when to show up in court again. Any questions? No? Okay, thank you.
Position 11, Ripley.
This is Shaquille Ripley, accused of simple battery domestic violence from September 14th, 2022. Ms. Ripley, your case number is 22 CR 006-236C. You've been accused of simple battery domestic violence and allegedly in Fulton County. You're advised of your right to remain silent. And your attorney is going to be Ms. McLeod. Any priors, Mr. Tucson?
6 total. He had a 2015 arrest out of Florida for grand theft.
Any DV methods?
No.
All right, that's good. Ms. Githia, what's your state's recommendation?
$100 signature bond, a one-day anger awareness, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, no contact with the victim, and to stay away from the incident location.
Yeah, and what was that amount? I'm sorry,
$1,500.
1,500. Right. I'm sorry, I didn't write down the names. I'm trying to get. And this was Ramsey Abdullah. Is that the alleged
Oh, yeah.
biological father?
Yes.
Okay. And Miss McLeod and Rose is stay away. I'm sorry, Miss Githier.
It's the
Yeah.
boyfriend's house, Your Honor. She doesn't live there.
Okay. And is the child still there?
No, Your Honor. The child, he has not legitimated the child. The
Okay.
child lives with her.
This with her? Okay. Right, I'm going to agree to the $1,500 signature bond through pretrial services. Ms. Ripley, the state has agreed to give you a signature bond, which means you don't have to pay for the bond today, but you have to comply with certain conditions. The conditions include no contact with Ramzi Abdullah, which means that after today, you cannot communicate with him, be within 200 yards of him. You have to stay very far away from him. You cannot be with him in person, through a phone, through a computer device, or even discuss him on social media. Any problems with that?
No, ma'am.
Yes or no?
No, ma'am.
No problems. Okay. If you has Mr. Abdullah legitimated the child you share with him?
He has not, Your Honor. I did
All right.
ask.
So, Ms. Ripley, you have an absolute right to not share the child with Mr. Ripley. So if you wish him to see the child, I will only allow for a third party transfer of the child. In other words, there must be a third party involved to communicate with Mr. Abdullah and to allow him to see the child. You cannot be part of that transfer. Do you understand?
Yes.
Or if you do not wish him to have contact with the child, then Mr. Abdullah will have to go to a superior court and file a legitimation action to get a court order to see the child and have some joint custody. As the custodial parent, for a child who's not been legitimated, you have the absolute right to have complete custody of the child. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You're not to consume any illegal drugs, no alcohol, and you're not to possess any weapons or any firearms. You will also complete a one-day anger awareness program with the Fulton County pretrial services. Make sure your address is current with us at all times. Your next court date will be sent to you in the mail. Thank you.
That's per the,
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, per judge.
Judge, I'm assuming the cruelty to children has been dismissed.
Yes, it's been NOD'd.
Thank
So,
Position 8, Moses. Where's Moses?
Mr. DeAnthony Moses has two cases, position 8 and 9. The first one is 22 CR 006222J, in which Mr. DeAnthony Moses has been accused of battery, domestic violence from July 14, 2022. Mr. Moses has a second new case, 22 CR 006223J, willful obstruction of an officer, allegedly occurring on September 14, 2022. Mr. Moses has a third case in which a bench warrant has been issued, 15 CR 003248. With regards to the two new cases, his attorney is Ms. Wanda Gant. Any priors, Mr. Tucson?
you don't have any prior violence. He pled no load of possession of marijuana, misdemeanor, and possession of drug-related objects, 2019. 2019 failure to appear for theft by taking. It's 19 SC 165522. It says confidential, so I can't click in it.
Okay.
That came off of a February 2019 arrest. 2018 misdemeanor possession of marijuana, 2 counts. 2016, same thing. 2015 felony theft by shoplifting, misdemeanor possession of marijuana. 2014 marijuana and trespass.
All right. That's good. Thank you. Ms. Riley?
Yes, Your Honor, the state would be asking for, on the battery family violence charge, a $5,000 surety bond, no further contact with Ms. Tierra Freeman, stay away from the incident location of 3871 Red Wine Road, southwest apartment 1207. A 1-day anger awareness, and to have no illegal alcohol, drugs, or weapons. And that is due to there being the 2 incidents, Your Honor, that both involve Miss Freeman. The obstruction, she was trying to go to the home to retrieve her belongings, and Mr. Moses was there preventing her from doing so, and then ran from the police.
All right, thank you. Ms. Gant?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. DeAnthony Moses is 25 years old. He has been in the Atlanta, Georgia area his entire life. He shares a 4-year-old daughter with the complaining witness, Ms. Tiara Freeman. We are requesting third-party transfer so that he may continue to see his daughter. He does not wish to continue having contact with Ms. Freeman. Therefore, we are unopposed to any no contact and stay away orders. However, we would request a one-time law enforcement escort to the incident location. My client tells me that they both lived there. However, he had surrendered the residence to her, and that he does not wish to continue living there. Now, a little bit more about Mr. Moses. Mr. Moses completed high school. He is currently studying to obtain an HVAC certification. He just obtained a job at UPS. He works there at night. He has been in that position for about 2 to 3 months. Therefore, he's still on probation. Of course, if he doesn't report, he is likely to lose that job. He also started another job at a local high school as a sanitation worker. Mr. Moses also has another 9-year-old child that is not of the relationship between Ms. Freeman. So therefore, Your Honor, I am requesting a signature bond on Mr. Moses' behalf. Now, I do acknowledge my client's history. However, he does not have any convictions for violence. The FTAs are remote, in my opinion, Your Honor. And regarding those FTAs, he states that there was an issue at his residence where he could not return there and could not receive court notices. And he understands that it certainly is his responsibility to keep the court updated. And lastly, Your Honor, regarding the allegations, he strongly denies the allegations as the warrant reads. Mr. Moses was not on scene. Ms. Freeman's wounds were healing. He denies having any physical contact with her whatsoever. And the argument basically started because she had learned some things about his relationship with another person, but he denies ever making any physical contact with her. So in summary, Your Honor, I am requesting a signature bond on Mr. Moses' behalf. If Your Honor determines that he's ineligible, I would ask for a bond of no more than $1,000. And again, we are unopposed to any no contact and stay away orders. We are requesting a one-time law enforcement escort and a third-party transfer. Thank you.
And Ms. Riley, what was your bond recommendation for the obstruction? I'm sorry.
For the obstruction, Your Honor, yes, it is a $1,000 surety bond.
Oh, okay.
And Your Honor, I would just add for the battery family violence, Ms. Freeman did indicate that she does fear for her life and believes that Mr. Moses will harm her again in the future. And for the obstruction, it was also the apartment complex's intent for Mr. Moses to be criminally trespassed from that location as well, which led to part of the reason why he ran for the obstruction. So we would ask for the bonds to remain for the battery family violence at $5,000 surety, and for the obstruction, a $1,000 surety bond.
All right.
And Your Honor, if I may, I did not make a bond recommendation for the willful obstruction. I would ask for a bond of no more than $250.
All right. Thank you.
If eligible for signature.
All right. On the battery, considering the nature of the charges and the fact that he's got this prior open case involving her as well as an open, I think it's a felony probation matter. Bond is going to be set at $2,500. That's going to be a surety bond. On the willful obstruction, that's going to be a $500 surety bond. The conditions for both cases are no further contact with Ms. Freeman, to stay away from 3871 Red Wine Road in Atlanta, Georgia. And in order to have visitation or any joint custody with the child that he shares with Ms. Freeman, he would need to file a legitimation action in the appropriate superior court and obtain a court order to establish joint visitation or custody. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, and no weapons. From what I gather from the warrant, Mr. Moses has also been trespassed from 1371 Kimberly Way in Southwest Atlanta. As far as I can tell from the warrant, the alleged victim does not live there. So she can go through the apartment management if she needs access to the property to retrieve her belongings. But in terms of his ability, I'll give him a if he makes bond, he's allowed to return to that location one time only with a police officer to retrieve his belongings from the apartment, providing they're still there. And there cannot be a breach of peace. But it looks like he's also been trespassed from the same area. That concludes his case. Thank you.
Thank you,
His
Yana.
next
Your
court
Honor.
date, his next court date for both cases is September 29.
Position 10, Ogini.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Philip Holloway for Mr. O'Guiney.
All right, so are you private counsel?
Yes,
or-
Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Samuel Ogini's case number or new accusation number is 22 CR 006-233G. The alleged misdemeanor offense apparently occurred on July 15th, 2022 in Fulton County. And Mr. Ogini, I am not going to sound out the offense. Mr. Holloway, are you familiar with the charge brought against your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Ogini, if you look at the screen, are you familiar with the charge brought against you?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we're not going to mention it, and the counsels are so directed not to make any reference to it. Mr. Ogini, you've been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is Philip Holloway. Mr. Tucson, any priors, please?
Second arrest, he was arrested August 22nd, 2022, Cherokee County. Same thing.
Thank you. Ms. Githia, any reference? Excuse me, what's your bond recommendation? I've read the warrant already.
Yes, Your Honor, it is going to be a $5,000 cash bond, a stay away from the incident location, and no contact with the victim, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons.
All right, Mr. Holloway?
Judge, I think that the amount is sufficient. However, I don't think it's necessary for it to be a cash only bond. I think it's more than adequate for him to have a surety bond with either a private bonding company or perhaps property or other means. I think 5,000 signature cash bond is a bit too much. Other than the other related case for which he is it's just begun. It's a related, I think, investigation, and that investigation is not complete. Otherwise, he has no criminal history. He is employed at Valvoline in Snellville. He has family in this area and is not any kind of a flight risk. So we think that a surety bond is more than appropriate under the circumstances.
Your Honor, we may have to do a breakout to further discuss this. Just because both of the allegations are very similar and they're a month apart, and just given the seriousness of this offense, we are going to really stress that 5,000 cash bond is very sufficient.
All right. Mr. Holloway, I'm going to do a very quick breakout with you and Ms. Githia only. If the host could please place Mr. Holloway and Ms. Githia and myself.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. This is Anna Allen in the SG's office standing in for Ms. Falk. If you could include me in that breakout, I'd appreciate it.
All right.
Thank
With
you.
Anna, Helena, Ellen, too. Please, thank you.
May I please be invited as well?
All right, Ms. Kim, you get a special e-bite. You're in.
Yeah.
Okay. Just let the whole All right, Mr. Ogini, after a consult with all the attorneys, including yours, your bond is set at 12,500. It is going to be a surety bond. Conditions to your bond is to have no further contact with Summer Tillman, to stay away from the business at the location in Alpharetta. I'm sorry, I'm just blanking out on the address right now. But you know, it's going to, well, let me see, I should be able to pull it up. Yeah, at 12460 Crabapple Road in Alpharetta, Georgia. And no illegal drugs, no alcohol, and no weapons and no firearms. If you attempt to contact Ms. Tillman or you go back to the business location, you will be arrested and the $12,500 bond will be revoked. You will be in a no bond status until your next court date. Presently, your next court date is going to be scheduled for September 29 at 9 a.m. And if you do make bond, then make sure you maintain a current address with the court at all times so that you will get notice of your next court summons. Mr. Holloway, did you get a chance to see Ms. Grace's chat name? We good? Oh, Mr. Holloway's frozen, so.
Yes, Your Honor, I apologize. I was muted. I just sent Melissa Grace a direct message and hopefully she will see it. And I gave her my email address as well.
All right, got it. Thank you.
Thank you. May I please be excused?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Holloway.
I will wait
Right.
here until she responds, but thank you.
All right. Francois, may we have our next case, please?
Position 12, Robinson.
This is Naaman Robinson, accused of battery from September 14, 2022, accusation number 22CR006225J. Mr. Robinson, you've been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is going to be, is it Ms. Gant, Ms. Kim?
But what was the name again, please?
Naaman Robinson, position
that is-
12. All right, Ms. Kim?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Your Honor.
Mr. Tucson, any priors, please?
Oh.
All right. Ms. Riley, what's your bond recommendation?
Yes, Your Honor, it will be a $3,000 surety bond to have no further contact with the victim, Heaven Rhymes. Although Ms. Rhymes, I believe, is present and was asking for no violent or harassing contact. But the state would like for it to remain no further contact. To
Right.
stay away from the incident location. It was a location that they worked at. However, Mr. Robinson was fired due to his actions at the job. No drugs or alcohol, and a one-day anger awareness.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Naaman Robinson is 19 years old, Your Honor, and we would like to recommend for signature on bond. They do not reside together, and we have no objection to stay away and no further contact with the Heaven Rhymes. And Mr. Robinson does not have any children, and he completed up to 10th grade, and he's currently working on GED. Of course, he just got fired. There's no way that he's going to be able to make that much money for the bond. He just needs to have a one-time law enforcement officer visit to her residential address where he left his iPhone and ID, social security card, all that stuff in her place. So he has to bring those. And other than that, Your Honor, we would like to request for signature on bond.
All right, thank you. Ms. Heaven Rhymes, if you are on the Zoom, you would need to, all right? All right, Ms. Rhymes, hi, my name is Judge Law, and if you'd like to contribute to the proceeding, I need to place you under oath. Would you like to contribute?
Can you say that again?
If you'd like to contribute to the proceedings, I would need to place you under oath. Would you like to say anything?
No, I don't have anything to say, but I don't have any of his belongings.
All right. And I'm going to place a requirement that he have no contact with you, which means he has to stay 200 yards away from you, and he cannot communicate with you in any way, form, or manner.
That's fine.
Which means that you cannot contact him either.
Understand.
All right, thank you. You're free to go. Or mute your screen. Thank you. I've also just noticed, and I do apologize, Miss Summer Tillman, you are on the Zoom. If you have any questions, you can reach out to the victim advocate. She's currently on Zoom. Her name is Iman Shaney. And you may contact her through the chat feature on the Zoom. Again, her name is SG Victim Advocate Iman Shaney, Chaney. Or if Miss Cheney, you want to reach out to Miss Tillman. All right, thank you. Miss Kim, as we can see, Miss Rhymes has declined any contact with Mr. Robinson. Is there anything else to add? I'm sorry, you're on mute.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
And with whom does Mr. Robinson live?
He resides with his mother, Your Honor, at different address.
And she will need to co-sign his signature bond. I'll need her name, the correct spelling.
Sure. I didn't think he needed any cosigner. So
Oh, he will.
He will?
He
He's
will.
19.
I'm going to let his mother decide how many days she wants
Okay.
him to stay in the jail.
Okay, let me find it out really quickly and then I'll make an arrangement. Okay, sorry about that.
We
You
need
waiting?
to mute courtroom 2, please.
Yes, I'll call the courtroom too. Can I get,
Yeah, Mr. Robinson, if you want to get out of jail on a pretrial bond and subject yourself to many conditions, I'll need your mother's name.
yeah,
Her name is Nico Brown, but like I don't got her number.
You
Like
don't have a what?
her number, they arrested me without giving me her number. Like they took her number down.
You don't know your own mother's phone number?
Yeah, I don't.
Do you have an address,
Yes,
which is
2135 Gabby Road.
2125
2135 Gabby Road,
2135 Godby Road,
apartment 2-123
apartment 2.
-1
I'm sorry, you're muffled. So apartment 2.
-123.
I can chat it to your attention, Your Honor.
And that's Atlanta, Georgia, 3.
0349.
And what's her full name again? Spell the first name.
NIKKO Brown.
Nikao.
Nikko.
Thank you, sir.
Nikko.
Yes, Nikko.
Nikko. Last name?
Brown. That's what I
Nico
heard.
Brown.
Yes,
Okay,
you're correct.
all right. Mr. Robinson, the bond is going to be set at $5,000. It's going to be a signature bond through pretrial services, which means that you can sign up for your bond, but I'll need Miss Nico Brown to co-sign your bond. So if we don't have a phone number, we'll have to send her a letter saying she needs to come down to the jail and co-sign your bond. You are from this point onwards to have no further contact with Heaven Rhymes. You're to stay 200 yards away from her. You're not to communicate with her in person, through a cell phone, through a third party, through any computer device, and not on any social media. You're not to possess any weapons or any firearms, and you're not to consume any illegal drugs and not consume any alcohol. You'll be subject to random screens by pretrial services. You're also to stay away from the business located at 4900 Buffington Road. I'm assuming that's in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yes.
Okay. Now, unless he's got to work at the various times, Mr. Robinson will be subject to a curfew. He will be home from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. If you have a problem with these conditions, this is the time to let me know.
Can you say that one more time?
Just a minute. Appears that Miss Rhymes has sent us Miss Brown's phone number. It's in the chat feature.
yes.
Pretrial, do you
I got
see
it.
it?
That's
Yes,
her number. That's her number. That's not my mom's number. That's her number.
I'll call her and maybe she can help us to find mother's number.
All right.
Thanks.
All right.
So I'm on house arrest?
Your bond is $5,000. It's a signature bond for pretrial services. Your mother, Nico Brown, must co-sign the bond, and you will report to pretrial once a month. You will also undergo a one-day anger awareness program with pretrial services. You have to have no further contact with Heaven Rhymes. You have to stay away from her, from wherever she happens to be and where she lives. You're not to contact her in any way, form, or manner, including a phone, computer device, and social media. Unless you have various work hours, you are subject to a 12-hour curfew a day, which is from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. You're only allowed to step out of the house after 6 a.m. for work and other legitimate purposes. Your next court date is going to be sent to you at your current mailing address. Is that the Godby Road?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Your next court date will be sent to you at that address. If you change your address, make sure that you update the court with your new address. If you violate any of the conditions of this bond, or if you get arrested again for anything else, the 5,000 signature bond will be revoked and converted to either a cash bond or a surety bond. Do you have any questions about your bond?
Oh, ma'am.
May
All
we
right.
please waive the utility bills, Your Honor? I'm trying to contact his mother right now.
Yeah, I'll waive the utility
Thank
bill.
you.
Mr. Tucson will have to send me the paperwork.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Next case, please.
Position 1, Arnold.
I have Reginald Carlos Arnold accused of theft by taking from August 16, 2016. The bond was set at $500 by the warrant. This was allegedly from a sports clip on Alpharetta Highway. Mr. Arnold, your case number is 22 CR 006224C, and you've been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is going to be Ms. Wanda Gant. Any priors, Mr. Howard?
Total.
I'm sorry, did you say 19?
Yes.
All right.
Hold on. Last arrest was September 12th. Theft by shoplifting. He went to the city jail for the. I didn't really go through this history. 2011 arrest out of Tennessee, DUI. Pretty old. That's it.
Ms. Githia, what's your bond recommendation for Mr. Arnold from a 2016 incident?
A $1,000 surety bond, stay away from the incident location, and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons.
Ms. Gant?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Reginald Arnold is 53 years old. He has been in the Atlanta, Georgia area since 2009. He has a 32-year-old daughter. We are unopposed to the stay away at the incident location. Mr. Arnold completed high school. He also has some college credits in the area of business administration. He is unemployed. He strongly denies the allegations, and Your Honor, the statute of limitations has run on this case. And we are requesting a dismissal or in the alternative, a signature bond, and we are unopposed to the stay away order. Thank you.
Well, I was waiting for that motion to dismiss. You kept it off till the very end, Ms. Gant. Thank you. But Ms. Githia, I'm got to agree with this. The warrant was issued. I didn't write down the date of the warrant. I'm sorry. Let me just.
We have August 16, 2016. Well, that's the offense date. I'm not sure what the date of the warrant is. I believe it's September 12th.
It's January 2017. The arrest is more than 2 years ago. He's been in trouble with the law since then, but warrants were never executed for this charge. So show cause as to why this case should remain pending.
Well, Rania, we are gonna, address the fact that he did have just another theft just 2 days ago.
Understood. But the law is still for this misdemeanor
Okay,
after 2 years. If the warrant's not executed, the case is dismissed. Motion to dismiss is granted. Ms. Gant, please submit a proposed order dismissing the case on the grounds of statute of limitations.
Will do, Your Honor. Thank you.
If there are no other matters holding Mr. Arnold, this particular warrant is dismissed and he's free to go. He'll be processed out within 24 hours. Thank you. Dame, sorry, Francois, next case.
Position 4, Hal. I'm sorry, I didn't know I was muted, Judge.
No problem. John Howell. Mr. Howell, this is a charge of criminal trespass from September 14, 2022 at a Publix. Case 22 CR 006-227E. Mr. Howell, you have been advised of your right to remain silent and your attorney is Wanda Gant. Any priors, Mr. Howard?
19 total. Last arrest was August 1st. I'd have done with it. Disorderly conduct. June, trespass, simple battery out of the cab. March, trespass. 2018 FTA, possession of cocaine. Possession of drug-related objects. So he got those open cases in the cab. You want me to keep going?
No, we're good. Thank you. Ms. Githia?
yes, Your Honor, we are requesting a $500 surety bond, a stay away from the incident location, and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons.
Ms. Gant, any objection to that?
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Howell does not have the means to pay anything toward bond. We are asking for a signature bond. Please remain silent, Mr. Howell. He denies the allegations. He is 48 years old. He has been in the Atlanta, Georgia area for 30 years. He does not have any family to assist, and he's also unemployed. He tells me that he does not have any identification. He's residentially challenged. We are putting a social work consult in place so that he can get some assistance with getting, the resource that he needs for housing. He obtained a GED. And lastly, Your Honor, again, if Your Honor determines that he's ineligible for a signature bond, I would ask for a bond of no more than $100. And again, we are unopposed to the stay away. Thank you, Your Honor.
I don't know whether a surety company would grant a bond on 100, but I've heard of 500. So I'm going to go with the bondable bond of 500.
Well, Your Honor, if I may, my understanding is that if the bond is less than 1,000, then the person, surety companies will not accept percentages of less than 1,000. They'll have to pay anything that is lower than $1,000.
Well, then it'll be $1,000 if you want me to guarantee a plan of bondable bond, but I thought differently. But given his history, his numerous criminal trespass arrests in the recent past, and the fact that he's been allegedly criminal trespass from this location, it's going to be a, which one would you want me to do, Ms. Gant, 500 or 1,000?
1,000.
$1,000 surety bond, stay away from the Publix at 2900 Peachtree Road, Northwest Atlanta. No illegal drugs, no weapons. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next court date is going to be September 29.
Position 5, Jackson.
Your Honor, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I just spoke with mother of Mr. Naaman Robinson's, the Nico Brown.
Yes, Miss Nico Brown.
She says that she has a dialysis and it's very hard for her to move around. She does not have a transportation at this point. So I was wondering if his relative who's older than 25 years old can co-sign him out.
If she can identify the name and the date of birth of the
That's
relative.
what she's doing it right now, calling around and trying to find someone. And as soon as I get that, I'll.
Not a problem. Just
Yes.
reach out to Mr. Howard, Tucson
Yes.
Howard also, and he will make sure that it's updated on the pre-trial records.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thanks.
All other conditions remain in place.
Yes.
All
But
right.
they got to go on the bond order, so.
Yes.
just so
Sorry?
you know. it has to go on the bond order.
Yeah, it has to go on the bond order, so contact Miss Melissa Grace,
Okay,
Fulton County, and Tucson Howard,
sure.
Fulton County. And
Sure.
they will make sure that the pretrial order and the bond order are updated to reflect the correct name.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
You.
You still waiving? You still
She's
waiving the utility bill?
Yes, I don't know whether the relative lives there, so let's just dispense with the utility bill. Yeah.
Kim, I get off at 4:30, so we got an hour and a half.
Okay,
Okay.
all righty. Thank you. Thanks.
Quorum two, I'm sorry, this is Mario Jackson, is that correct?
That's correct, Judge.
All right. Mr. Jackson has two cases with us, and the first case is 22 CR 006229F, in which he's been accused of battery causing substantial physical harm. This is from March 22nd, 2022, involving one Christy Allen. The second case is 22 CR 006230F. The charge is battery, domestic violence, and theft by taking from September 14, 2022, involving one Christy Allen. Mr. Jackson, you've been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is going to be Ms. Maureen McLeod. Any priors, please?
6 total. He's on probation in Superior Court. Aggravated battery, possession of a firearm during a commission. 17 SC 152360. In 2018, they gave him 5 years probation for that. He's wanted out of Cobb County for battery. That's all.
Ms. Githier?
Yes, Your Honor. We are requesting a total of $10,000 surety bond. It'd be $5,000 for the battery substantial physical harm, $4,000 for the simple battery family violence, and $1,000 for the theft by taking. The 1-day anger awareness, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, stay away from the incident location, and no contact with the victim. And let me be a little bit more specific, stay away from the address listed in the battery family violence charge. I can pull that up.
Okay. All right, thank you. Ms. McLeod?
Yes, Your Honor, my client is 38 years old. He lives here in the Atlanta area, Your Honor. He is employed, but he's not in a position to post the kind of bond that the state is asking for. I would ask the court to reduce any bond requirements. I understand that he does have some history and that he also has a hold out of Cobb County. I would ask the court to take that into consideration in setting a bond for him, and to make his bond no more than, say, $1,000, so he can move on to Cobb County, take care of that, and get everything straightened out, Your Honor. The first charge was something that happened quite some time ago, so I would say that was remote, and it was with a different person, I believe I heard from what the prosecutor said.
Which one? The one in March?
Yes, Your Honor.
I believe it was the same person.
Yes.
I thought I heard a different name.
Yes.
I'm sorry. It was the same person?
Yeah.
Well, my client tells me that he does not have to go back to that location.
Okay.
He has place that he can go. He understands that, he should have no further contact with her, and he doesn't plan to have any further contact with her, Your Honor. That's what he tells me.
Okay, yeah, the March incident involves the same person, Christy Allen, allegedly occurring at a Quality Inn motel at Fulton Industrial Boulevard in room 323. And that the warrant was issued after, but apparently Mr. Jackson was not at the scene at the time when the police arrived. Okay, on the battery causing substantial physical harm from the March 22nd, 2022 incident, bond is set at $3,500. It is a surety bond. On the second case, Mario Jackson, with regards to the battery family violence, that's going to be set at $3,500, and that's going to be a surety bond. The theft by taking, that's going to be a $500 bond. His total bond is set at $7,500. His reset date is September 29. He's to have no further contact with Christy Allen. He's not permitted to speak to her in person, not through a phone, through a computer device, or through any social media or third party. He's to stay away from 1035 Martin Luther King Jr. Drive in Atlanta, Georgia. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, no weapons. And that's it. We'll see him on
The anger management, Your Honor?
we don't authorize that unless he's going through pre-trial.
Okay.
Thank you, Anna.
Yeah, from 1035 Martin Luther King Jr. Drive in Atlanta, Georgia. That's where, that's the last incident where it occurred.
Okay, so that's for both cases.
Yes.
And give me that again, I'm sorry.
And I don't think they live at the Quality Inn anymore.
1035.
1035 Martin Luther King Jr. Drive, Atlanta, Georgia.
Mr. Jackson, is this about your bond?
Oh, no, man, I would just like to say, I would like to say something.
Keep your mask up.
I would like to say,
I would suggest to you, Mr. Jackson, that you exercise your right to remain silent, because anything you say concerning the facts of these cases can be used against you when you go to trial.
I mean, I'm fine, attorney, I'm fine. I don't think no issue to go to trial, ma'am. I think it's just a misunderstanding, ma'am. We're very cool, and it just looked the way that it is, ma'am. Those rooms that I was in with mine, I stepped away. I've been supportive of her. I'm a number one.
Mr. Jackson.
Mr. Jackson, stop, please, folks. Mr. Jackson, your attorney is giving you very sound advice.
Gotcha.
All right. And when you say words like it was just a misunderstanding, it can mean many, many things. And the prosecutors are going to assume the worst.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So I would recommend you don't say anything.
Yes,
You have a $7,500 bond. If you don't make bond, Cobb County cannot come pick you up. And we will see you on September 29th.
I can't have no way to pay 75. I work a job.
Then we will see you on September 29th. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, that concludes my business before the court today. May I be excused?
Yes, ma'am. You have a great day. Yes, Ms. McLeod. I've just been told some people don't like to be called ma'am, so I'm trying to refrain myself from doing that.
I don't mind it being called ma'am at all.
Okay.
I feel like I've earned it. I'm old enough.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Please, thank you. All right. Thank you, folks. All right. Courtroom 2, who do we have?
Mr. Wheat, position 15.
Okay. This is Joseph Wheat, accused of criminal trespass and possession and use of drug-related objects from 22 CR 006232J. Alleged incident date is September 14th, 2022. Mr. Wheat, you've been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is Ms. Kim. Any priors, please?
Yeah. Last arrest was October 2021. Possession of cocaine. It was reduced to possession. Drug-related objects out of car. He's on probation in Fulton, Tennessee 92110 for possession of cocaine. Also on probation for burglary, criminal damage to property, 19 SC 171493. He has a total of 72.
Thank you. Ms. Riley?
Yes, Your Honor. The state would be asking for a $1,000 split surety bond, $500 on the criminal trespass, and $500 on the possession of drug-related objects. He's to stay away from the incident location, Texaco gas station, and to have no illegal drugs, alcohol, or weapons.
All right. Ms. Kim?
Yes, signature bond, please. He is 44 years old, and he was born and raised here in Georgia. And he has been working to sell watermelons for the last 3 years. And his education was up to 11th grade. And he does not have any children who can pay. I mean, he does not have a children. He does not have anybody else who can pay for his bond. So we would like to request for a $1,000 signature on bond. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Bond's going to be set at $500 on each count. It's a surety bond, so it's a total of $1,000 surety. Next court date is September 29th. To stay away from the Texaco Smart gas station at 3749 Campbellton Road in Atlanta, Georgia. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, and no weapons. Next court date, September 29th. Thank you.
Judge, you said 1,000 good bond, correct?
Correct, 500 each.
Thank you. Okay, you're done. We have a seat. Judge, I have a quick announcement.
Yes,
Position 2 is gonna be a medical reset.
all right.
We have a seat.
And I have a waiver of appearance for Mr. Cielo.
Yes, Your Honor, we would
Right.
like to request for a breakout room for that.
Okay, so I think that concludes all the cases at the jail, yes?
Yes, Judge.
Yes.
All right, Francois, you have a great week. Thank you.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Position 2 will be reset to the C calendar tomorrow. Damian Bradbury. Mr. Majeski, yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Good to see you, Judge.
You too.
I thought I had a guy, Tavoris Johnson, on here.
Tavoris Johnson, misdemeanor.
Yes, Judge.
I don't have a Johnson listed on my calendar.
Wasn't on the pool sheet either.
Did he make bond?
I don't know.
These are only for cases where the individuals did not make bond and hence not subject to release.
Spell the first name.
Tavoris.
What's that? Tovorris?
It's Tavoris.
Yeah, he went to felony.
Yeah, I did his felony this morning, but they said he had courted too as well. I don't know. I'll look into it, Judge. I just want to make sure I didn't miss it.
No, he's not on our calendar. No, you
All
didn't.
right. Anyway,
right.
good to see you. Have a good
You
day.
too, Mr. Majeski. Have a good week. Take care. Bye-bye. All right, Ms. Kim, did you want a breakout or are you just waiving his appearance?
We kind of need breakout room.
Okay,
You want the history first?
yes, please.
All right, 6 total. Last arrest was back in July. Burglary first degree. That's open in Superior Court 22 CP 210423. Before that was 2020 failure to appear out of the cab. 2019 disorderly conduct.
That's good. Thank you. All right, may Mr. Howard be released? All right, okay. All right, and Ms. Kim, we have only a few minutes before you reach out to Mr. Howard with the co-signer, okay?
Yes.
All right, so Mr. Jordan, if you could place Ms. Kim, Ms. Riley, Ms.
Allen.
Ms. Allen, and I didn't know who else wants to be in the breakout. And you
Actually, give me 1 second. She was calling me. Oh, the mother of Mr. Raymond. Give me 1 second, Your Honor.
okay. All right, while we're waiting for Ms. Kim, Ms. Gant, can you assist with going down the calendar?
Yes, Your Honor, and also if I may I send the motion to dismiss to Melissa Grace or someone else?
Oh, you can send the order dismissing the case. You don't need to send the motion.
That's what I meant, to
okay.
whom?
And you just send it to Melissa.Grace, or if you want to send it to Michael Jordan or Katrina Lewis, they will all make sure it comes back to me.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
Hey,
So
she can
position-
send it to me, Judge, real quick, and I'll bring it in there for you to sign. Because I got to bring you the co-signer thing anyway.
Okay. Position 1, Arnold is dismissed under the statute of limitations. Position 2 is reset to tomorrow, 9/16/22, 9/16, yeah. Position 3, Brown is got a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial for the notice. Position 4 is a $1,000 surety bond, reset September 29. Position 5 and 6 is a total of a $7,500 surety bond. Reset date is September 29. 3,500 for position 5 and 4,000 surety for position 6. 3,500 and 500. Position 7 is a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial for the notice. Position 8 is a 2,500 surety bond. Reset September 29. Position 9 is a $500 surety bond. reset September 29. Position 10, Ogini is September 29, excuse me, $12,500 surety bond, reset date September 29. Position 11 is a $1,500 signature bond, further notice. Position 12, Robinson's a $5,000 signature bond through pretrial with a cosigner required. Position 13 is a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial per judge, I think. Further notice. Position 14 is going to be addressed, Teofilo. Position 15, Weeks, the $1,000 surety bond, reset date September 29. Position 16, White is a $1,000 surety bond, reset date September 29.
You got per judge for number 11, right?
Well, okay, we'll make sure it's per judge on Ripley. Okay, thank you.
And
Ms.
Your
Kim,
Honor,
are we ready to proceed?
Yes, I actually have a name of auntie, actually mother's sister, Lashiva Morton, LAS.
Slow down, slow down.
Yeah, right. Sorry.
All right, hold on. Let me wipe this out.
Yeah. And what position was he? Oh,
Number 12.
thank you.
It is,
I'm ready.
okay, LASHIVA Morton, MORTON as a Nancy.
Okay.
And her birthday, do you need that too?
No.
Okay,
Make sure she got a valid license.
yes,
That's it.
thank you.
Judge, I'll be in there in a minute with the order.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Jordan, if you may place me in a breakout with Miss Kim, Miss Riley, and Miss Allen, please. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have concluded with the calendar with regards to position 14. The bond is set at 2,500. It's going to be a surety bond. And it's going to be reset to September 22nd at 10 a.m., the MH calendar. All right, that was the last announcement for this calendar. So thank you again, everyone, and have a good week. We'll see you soon.
Thank you, you too, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Good day.
Bye.
What was the last, the reset on that last case?
What was that, Mr. Jordan?
What was the reset date on that last case you was trying to say?
September 22nd, Thursday at 10 a.m. for the MH court.
Is someone gonna notify Ms. Corley about that case?
I believe it was Miss Kim who requested it. Would the attorney at this time notify them? Sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. All right.
Okay, thanks.
All right. I'll see y'all later then. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.